There are two differing attitudes that we see in the three readings today, and they are polar opposites. One, being silent. You can be silent for the right or wrong reasons. If you are silent because you're scheming and planning and thinking about how to put down somebody, like the first reading says, let us put down the just man because he is obnoxious. Then your silence is really dissenting and resentful. You're inwardly very noisy. There is the other one, the noisy people. They are noisy all the time, and what do? They plan and scheme and do what they plan for. Ang tawag po ng mga psychologists dito ngayon ay mga conflict entrepreneurs. Maingay ho sila pagka meron silang planong ibagsak ang ayaw nilang tao. And so what do? They become entrepreneurs and divide wedges between religious members of a religious community, or between the parish priest and the assistant parish priest, or between the superior of a community and the one who is in temporary profession. Conflict entrepreneurs are silent when they should be noisy, and they are noisy when they should be silent. Today, we have both attitudes in the story of the gospel. When the Lord was talking about He having to suffer, die at the hands of the leaders of the Jews, the disciples were curiously silent. They didn't want to say anything. They didn't want to ask Him. They didn't want to rock the boat because they knew that if they agreed with Him, there were consequences to their nature as disciples, that they themselves have to suffer and die and be brought to court and be accused of all sorts of things. And therefore they kept silent, exactly the way people keep silence now in the face of corruption, kasi nakikinabang. Exactly the way people are silent now in the face of injustice, because they never had it so good and they are raking it in. Exactly the same way that some conflict entrepreneurs are silent sapagkat sila nakikinabang sa kapangyarihan ng kung sino mang nakaupong prinsipe at prinsesa, hindi sa tasa, kung hindi sa pinakamataas na lugar ng lipunan. Today, the Lord asks us, are you silent for the right reasons, or are you silent for the wrong reasons? If you are silent because you don't want to think about the consequences of being a disciple, then you are not worthy of following the Lord, because you know exactly what it means to be a disciple. And that is exactly why the church is hated by people in power, because the church preaches in season and out of season. The church is never silent in the face of oppression. The church is never silent in the face of injustice. And that is why we are not loved by the potentates. They accuse us always of meddling with the affairs of the state. Pero itong mga parehong mga makapangyarihang taong ito, linking arms with televangelists, with people who claim to be the Son of God. That is union between church and state. And yet, when it applies to the Catholic Church, bawal magsalita, bawal mag-prophesy, bawal mag-ingay. Bakit? Separation between church and state. Wrongly understood. Okay, now, the Lord asks us today, and I repeat this, are we silent for the right reasons? If we are silent for the right reasons, then that is martyrdom, a martyrdom of silence, because you're safeguarding some greater good, or you're safeguarding the lives of people, and therefore it's better not to say anything. When you have an elderly mother and you love her so much and the doctor says she has only a few months to live, you would rather keep silent and not tell her and allow her to live her few remaining months, if not years, or few remaining weeks in comfort. And you are silent for the right reason, because you're silent because you love that person that you love so much. But if you're silent for the wrong reasons, you're not gonna say anything, because I continue to receive donations from this politician. But he is the one in charge of illegal mining. Never mind, he gives donations. And my church is beautiful. My church has a pipe organ. My church has the best sound system because of the governor. Then you are silent for the wrong reasons. What do you mean by being noisy for the wrong reasons? The Lord asked the disciples, what were you arguing about? Pwede bang matanong, ano bang pinag-aawayan nyo? The word argue is very strong. That means they were quarreling almost. They were quarreling about who was the greatest. And the Lord knew that they were quarreling and asked them, ano bang pinagmamakaingay ninyo? What were you arguing about on the way? And they remained silent for the wrong reasons kasi booking. They were arguing about who was the greatest among them. It is the selfish ambition and envy that St. James was talking about. If you are envious and you are selfishly ambitious and you are noisy about it and you become a conflict entrepreneur, gusto mo ikaw ang maging kanang kamay kaya siraan mo yung kanang kamay ngayon. You're a conflict entrepreneur. You get a rise for yourself by destroying somebody. You are noisy for the wrong reasons. This is envy and this is selfish ambition. I have bad news for you. It happens in families. It happens in communities. It happens in parishes. It happens in the church. And I know what I'm talking about. I have suffered enough because of the church that I love. There are teachers who will make mano to you and will bow to you and will kowtow to you, but then they are silently, noisily conflict entrepreneurs. They bring fake news to their favorite solutions in order to destroy me or somebody else for that matter. This is envy and selfish ambition, and this is being noisy for the wrong reasons and silent for the wrong reasons. And today we are asked, me and you, including me, maybe more of me than you, let's do the right thing. Are you silent for the right reasons? Are you silent for the wrong reasons? Are you noisy for the right reasons? Are you noisy for the wrong reasons? And this is one right reason. Taking a child, he placed it in their midst, and putting his arms around the child, he said, whoever receives one child such as this in my name receives me, and whoever receives me receives not me, but the one who sent me. This is being silent for the right reason. Silent that is pregnant with meaning, because you are noisily serving somebody who cannot repay you back. Why did the Lord choose a child? Because a child has no place in society. He has no bank account. He has no position. He has no money. He has no GCash. He has no power. And the Lord told us and tells us now, whoever receives one child, such as this in my name, receives me. That child cannot repay you. That child cannot pay you back. That child cannot give you gifts during your birthday. And I know that when you're in position, you receive a lot of gifts. And when you're no longer in position, no one remembers you except your real friends, who are always silent for the right reason about you, and silent also and noisy also for the right reason when it comes to you. Real friends do that. They are silent for the right reason. They are noisy for the right reason. And this right reason has to do with humility. It has to do with not selfish ambition, but humility in service. You serve those who cannot pay you back, not the governor who can give you a fat check on Christmas. Not the noisy legislators who always talk to their constituents kahit parang 4,000 lagi. And they always talk grandiose things. And they always make promises. You will hear a lot of it in the next 6 months before the election. Let us be mindful of this, noisy and silent for the right reasons, humble for the godly reason of humility and service, and serve those, most of all, those who cannot repay you back. And then you are great in the kingdom of heaven. Minus the fanfare, minus the musico, minus all the social media celebration. Nowadays, popularity is mistakenly understood only as megatrends. Somebody who claims to be popular only claims it because of megatrends. And you can have a megatrend if you have an army of trolls and bots. And behind trolls and bots is money, money. Now, why is it that children are never popular? Because they don't have money, they don't have trolls, they don't have bots. They are real. They're just who they are. And they deserve to be served in God's name precisely because they are powerless. God bless us all.